Let's look at how to use book pages to make wonderful little envelopes. I've got a whole bunch of ideas for you today. Where I want to start is, what kind of books do you want to look for at your library, who usually give away old books or they sell them for 50 cents, or in any of your recycle stores that you go to. The first thing that I always say is, because it caught me off guard when I first started junk journaling, was using book pages, which is fine, and we're going to show you how to use this fun stuff. But the problem was, I ripped out some novel, and when I went to sit here and, make an envelope or make something from it, I saw all these like really bad words that I really didn't want to have, especially in a faith junk journal. So my suggestion is, go to a recycle store or a library and pick up any kind of Christian how-to or topical books. This is Knowing God by J.I. Packer, and I have used this book. You can tell how much of it, a lot of it is gone. So to me, you want to start with a faith-based book, and then you don't have to sit here and worry at all about any words or thoughts that are on the pages when you go to make an envelope. So that's my first suggestion, is that. I had a neighbor who was getting rid of a lot of old books, and look at this great book. This was an engineering drawing book, way, way old. When is this from? It's ancient, 1947. And the pages are just awesome. Look, so there's nothing here about bad words and stuff, but just some really fun graphics. So that's a good book. Then I found this one at, I think, probably Goodwill, the Family Book of Christian Values. And it's a larger book. And look, it's full of Bible verses and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make your life really easy, is find a book like this and use the pages from that. Another book people don't ever think about is Strong's Concordance. Now, 20 years ago, when I first became a Christian, everybody told me, you have to buy yourself a concordance. And so I did, and I spent a lot of money. Well, now nobody uses them. Why? Because everything's online. But yes, the paper's very thin. But again, it's pointing to the Bible. These are words from the Bible. So these are nice big pages. So get yourself, pick up a concordance, or if somebody's getting rid of one, absolutely take it. Another book that I found, this was it was a discarded book for free at my local library. And this was on games and puzzles of ancient times. And look at some of the graphics. And it's really good, heavy duty paper. So these make really fun pages to use in our junk journals. And in fact, you can fold it up and just absorb whatever the graphics are. But I'm gonna show you how I took one of the graphics out of here and I cut it in a square and just made it a focal point, which was the peacock. And so I made an envelope from that. So these kinds of books, games and puzzles, would make a great one. And then I ordered this one online because I saw quite a few videos, I can't remember the people now, who, this woman loves birds. And the best part of this book is, look at these gorgeous pictures. And here's the best part for a junk journaler. The graphics are on one side, and the other side always has all the words. So see how you can go through this? Now, I ordered this online from one of those used bookstores. Normally, this book was a $50 book. I think I paid, it was a $50 book. I paid like $12 for it. And so I love taking things out of here. You can use this in a couple of ways. So you can use this as focal points. So you can just sit here and fussy cut. Pull a couple pages out, sit in front of your TV and fussy cut some of the birds, and then you can use them. Or you can use them to absolutely fold up and make a envelope. So I've pulled out a bunch of papers. Two more things that I wanted to share with you. Two more ideas for books to get. Here they are. I moved them. Okay. Again, I watched a video where somebody said she was using a Fedco supply catalog, and you can go online and they will send you this for free. Now, the Fedco one is that wrapping, what is it, packing paper, very thin, and it's all black and white, but it's kind of got some fun pages. So I ordered one of these. Then I went to Burpee online and I ordered their catalog, and it's all in color. Okay, so there's a lot of flowers back here in the back. So you can use these again in lots of ways. You could fold it and make an envelope like we're going to talk about, or you could cut out those flowers. Now the negative is you got to pick which side, right, because it's catalog, and use it as a focal point. So those were two other ideas of papers that I have sitting here in my stack. You can use magazine. If you get some old magazines, you definitely can use them. The problem that I find is no matter how you fold them, you're probably going to lose the graphic. So something like that, the dog's face is going to be upside down. Now, if I do it on this side, yeah, that might work. Okay. You can also use real antique paper. The other paper that I love to use is old sheet music. My mother played the piano, so I inherited lots of sheet music from her. Okay, so that's lots of different paper. Now, let's look at some of my examples. So I took a piece of sheet music, right, like right here, okay, and let me move this stuff, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did this. Now, this is strictly just how to make an envelope. You want to make it wide, you want to make it narrow, it's up to you. Okay, so the first thing that you do is you're just going to fold it up like this. Now, one of the things I say first, but let me show you, is you don't really want to waste your space with these pieces. Like, here, I'm going to do it this direction, right? Yeah. Here, I will get this right. I'm doing it the opposite. You want to just take off your edges. That's the better thing to do first. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's do that. We'll do this side also. And I just go to the very edge. So now you have a nice little torn piece of paper. And if there's a lot on the bottom that's wasted, let's do the exact same thing. Let's just take all that off. And at the top. And then you have but I love, this is probably my mother's handwriting, so I'm not going to get rid of that. Now, one of the things you have to decide when you're using book pages, music pages, whatever, is it going to bother you if it's upside down? See, the minute we fold it up, look what happens. It's all upside down. Some people don't like that. So what I tell you is, look, if you turn it, twist it totally upside down, now when I fold it up, I am right side up and I can read it. So that's the first fold that I was going to make. That's about as, well, let's go up a little bit higher. This is going to be the depth of my little envelope here, okay? And so I've got that folded that way. Then this would fold over. And see what happens when you do it, as I showed you how to do it upside down, it becomes all in the correct direction. So once you have that done, now you go ahead and you're going to turn it and fold just a little tiny bit on the outside edge all the way up on both long sides. Okay, we're going to fold that up. Whoops, yeah, it might help if I fold straight, right? Go back over here. Here we go. We're going to go up like that, right? And of course, I didn't fold it totally straight. So once you have those folded, and of course, that one wasn't folded straight either. It's okay, it's handmade. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. Now I'm going to open this back up, and we are going to cut out, because you don't need this extra, piece. So from this fold line, okay, I'm going to open that back up. Now, of course, you can't see my fold line, which is right there. So I'm just going to snip that direction, and then I'm going to snip this bottom one totally off. It just makes the envelope come together easier. So we've got that left. Open this one. Going to do the same thing over here. And there's the fold. So we've got that ready. So now this fold would go in there. This is going to be right up there, and that's how you actually have a pocket. Now we don't need this extra part on the top here. So let's do the same and trim this part off. down to your fold. So we'll trim those little flaps off because we don't need them. Okay, we've done our trimming. And now what I would do is I'm going to edge everything because I just really enjoy doing that. I like the look of it. It just makes the paper look even older, right? And we'll do this. Now, this first one that I'm making, I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave this, I can leave this squared off, right? Or I could put that in a corner rounder and round the edges. Let's do that. Let's just round those edges with my little corner rounder here. So there's one. So you have the choice. You can leave it squared. You can corner round it, or you can make it like the angles that what usually happens on envelopes, right? Now, the next part is totally up to you. I have a sewing machine, and you'll notice on my examples, I have sewn these together on my sewing machine. I didn't glue them. If you have a sewing machine, that's the step you would take next. If you don't have a sewing machine, then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to glue those sides. And how did I mix up that? I don't know. Didn't cut that right, especially when you can't see it very much, right? There we go. Let's just trim that up. Okay. So for this purpose, my sewing machine is not here. I'm going to go ahead and just glue it using my Pritt stick. And you put the glue right on those little folded edges. Okay. And there we go. And of course, this is very, very old paper. So there's your first envelope. Now you can make this any size, any width that you want, right? And then the next step, we would start decorating them. And what do you decorate with? Well, a friend saved canceled stamps for forever and has this giant thing, and she donated this to the studio that we use. So we've got fun canceled stamps. I have quite a few kits that I'll have listed here in the video that you can print that are just ephemera kits. So I've got all these stamps that are, in my digital kits. You can do that way to decorate. As I mentioned to you, I went ahead and cut out some birds from that one book. And so I think it would be fun to put this bird on here, like the bird singing. Let's see which one I want. So you can tell I sat there one day and cut lots of birdies. That one's too big. So, we could have birds singing to each other. Wouldn't that be cute? Let's do that. So get yourself any kind of a bird book that you can find. I think you'll be really excited for all the, and then quote, if you got the book for free, it's free ephemera, right? Even if you had to pay for it, considering how many pictures or whatever you could get out of it, that's pretty inexpensive for ephemera. So we want to decorate our envelopes. So we're going to go ahead and glue our little talking birdies on here. So I'm going to put that little bird there. We'll put this birdie here. Oops, I have some on the feet. And we're going to have this talking birdie right there. There we go. Now, even though I glued this, I could take this to my sewing machine and I could sew on the edges. Now, you have to be kind of careful. This is very old paper and the sewing machine can kind of rip it. That's, kind of up to you. But the goal is that you're going to sit here and you're just going to take a stack of book pages of all different kinds, like I just showed you my big stack of papers, right? And you're just going to sit here, and this is a mass making thing. You make a whole bunch of these and decorate them. So mine have some Bible verses on them. This is another piece from an ephemera kit that I have. And here's some more with butterflies and some more words. Now, the other thing that you can do, which is fun, is if you have a hymnal book. Do I have a page here? I might not have a hymnal page. But, I'm trying to show you something and now I don't have it. Okay, actually, if you have any kind of hymnal page or music paper, you can cut out, sometimes there's really good words, like came the faithful, alleluia, right? You could cut just that out and use that actually as decoration. So see, this was just playing around. So I sat here one day and like, you can tell how many of these I made. Now I ran them all through my sewing machine. Okay, so there's an example of the way we were just folding it and we were making it this one, this exact same one, right? Now this one is what I wanted to show you. I didn't turn this upside down, and it doesn't matter to me, but sometimes it matters to other people. Okay, so just do my little trick of twisting it totally around, and then you'll have it all lined up in the same direction. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you is you can actually make pockets, right? So this is a piece of sheet music that I folded, and instead of making it as an envelope, I just made it as a pocket. And where did I get this picture is out of one of those books. So if you get those really fun old books with some weird pictures in them, like I showed you I got from, there was a peacock in one, and there's this rhinoceros, and isn't this funny? Listen to this. The rhinoceros is nearly as large as the elephant. It is armed with a kind of horn on its nose, and its skin is so hard as to resist a musket ball. It inhabits Africa, and it is what is called the unicorn. Okay, it's kind of interesting. So I just thought that was fun. And then I added a little tab here. I did sew on this. So before you glue the sides or sew the sides, you sew on your decoration, which is what I did here. So now I've not sewn this one together because I'm going to move over to the envelope board in a second. But this is what we're going to make next, okay? So just sitting there folding them, that you saw lots of examples. You can make them in all different widths. See, here's another one that I was getting ready to just show you. I made a wider one, I made a shorter one. So those are there. Now, if you have an envelope board, then you hopefully know how to use it. Now, the funny thing is, I've had one for quite a long time, but I didn't really ever use it. And I thought a couple months ago, I was like, well, I wonder if I could remind myself how to use it. So I'm going to teach you how to use the We Are, is this Memory Keepers? Yeah, We Are Memory Keepers envelope board. So it comes like this, and it comes with this, this. Yeah, what is that? Okay, anyway, creaser. Yeah, so you're going to pull that out. And this is some of the envelopes that you can make with an envelope board. And the thing that is the cool part about an envelope board is you kind of decide what card size you want, because there's a whole column, card size. So let's say you want a narrow but tall one. Let's say you want a wide one. You pick that size, and then it tells you exactly what size you have to cut your paper. So these right there, yeah, those are, okay. If you have 6x6 paper pads, old paper pads, or if you have 12x12 paper, cut them down into 6x6, okay? That's the one that makes this really cute size. See how cute this is? And this is double-sided paper. So it makes a really nice little envelope that I haven't decorated, but I just wanted to show you how to make it. Now, there's another one. And what if you wanted to have kind of this fun closure? I'm going to show you how to make this little closure in just a minute. So let me teach you how to use the envelope board. So we're going to do a 6x6, okay? And this is a double-sided paper. It doesn't matter which side you start on. So if it's a 6x6 paper, I am going to pick, there's a 3x4, or there's a 3.5 by 3.5 size that makes out of a 6x6. So I'm going to pick the 3x4. And once you pick that, it says, here's your score line. So what you do is you go from the edge of the paper, which would be right there, right to where it says, and it says 2 5/8. So I move the edge of the paper all the way over to the 2 5/8. And the first thing that you do is punch your score line. And then there is this right here, and you just kind of run that along there and you get your line. So you've scored that. Now this paper is already tearing, but anyway, okay. You're going to pull it down, twist it all the way around, and now where this score line is, you're going to put that right where that little pointy is, right? And you're going to punch, and you are going to score the next side. Pull it down, turn it 90 degrees, go back and align it that way. And if you can't see it from up here, you can always start here. It doesn't matter. Still just running that along there, okay? And, oh, I didn't punch it, so let's get back there. Okay, it's punched. Turn it one more time. Put your pointer on the score mark and mark the final one and punch it, okay? So see what you get now? This is going to be wide. Now, it could actually be tall, which is what I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it. Can you see how that's kind of working like that? Okay. Now, this is going to be my top. This is going to be my bottom. The cool part of this is on the back of it, it actually has a corner rounder. So you just turn it over and you put that in there and you rounded that corner. Okay. So you're going to go this way, and this comes right up. And look at this really cool, tall envelope that we just made. How simple is that, right? Isn't that fun? So the envelope punch is actually really fun to make stuff. So then you would just glue the edges and close that, okay? So I thought I would show you how to make one from an 8x8 because I made a whole bunch. Oh, here's the other 6x6s that I made. And I showed you how to use this. I'm going to show you some finished ones so to give you some ideas. The best part to do once you have your envelope done is get your stamps out and stamp all over it. So see how beautiful these are? I just took my stamps, and I've talked to you before. I get my stamps from Temu at this time, and I just stamped it all. So this is totally ready to just grab and go into one of my junk journals. Here's another piece. This is actually a piece of paper from one of my kits, and I lined it with graph paper, right? And I did some stamping on there also. So here's another one. I mean, look, you can tell how many pieces of paper I had that old. This is such old paper. I lined this with a book page, and then I just did some stamping. So doesn't that make a really fun envelope? So pull out all your fun stamps. This is a mass make. Sit there for, say I'm going to do an hour, and you're going to have all these great little pieces of ephemera for junk journals. Here's one I made out of the concordance page. I cut it into a 6x6, and I made exactly what I just showed you. See? No, actually, I did it a little bit wider. But anyway, so you can just do that. Now, it's very fine, because it's that kind of paper. But I had coffee dyed it, so that's why. But do the stamping. The stamping is the fun part. That's what really sets these apart and makes them really, really cool. Now, let's make an 8x8, and then I'm going to show you how to make this closure. So for an 8x8, 8x8 makes a 3.5 by 6. So it says go to 3 1/8. So there's the edge. We go to 3 1/8. We punch and we score. And I'm not pushing very hard because this is paper. It's not cardstock. Remember, we pull it down, turn it 90 degrees. Line up that score mark that we just made. Make your next score mark. Punch the hole. Turn it again. Line it back up there. See how easy this goes? See how you can make so many so quick. And there we go. Now, can you see where my folds are? Not really, so I'm going to show you. So we could do this as a wide envelope. I think I want to make a tall envelope because I think that would be more fun. So we're just going to go ahead and go back to where the score lines were on both sides. And this would come up there. That works well. And if we wanted to round that top, just make it rounded. And now we've got a beautiful, tall envelope. Now, let's see, I think I'm going to put this one up there and that one over there. But you can finish these off anyways. So now you can see. And if you don't like that big point over there, look, you can always just fold it. Go ahead and fold it over, and it'll make it, just make it a different line. See how you're making it like that now? And there we go. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to show you was something else that's fun. You know, envelopes, when we use them for regularly sending mail, they have glue, and then you're ripping it open, right, when you want to do that. But what if you wanted to just hold it together, like with a little tab? Look how cute that is. Okay, simple, simple, simple to make. I saw somebody just, I saw this a while ago, and so I made a couple of these. Here's another thing that you want to do. You want to mass make these. What do you need for them? You need a small circle punch. You need a pokey tool. You need a corner rounder. Then you need some cardstock. You need some brads, okay? Now, what I've done is, let's see, what size is this? I don't know what size it is. It's very small. It is like a 3/4. It's a 3/4. You can use any size you have, so don't worry about that part. So let me show you how I made a couple of these. You take a piece of your paper. You're going to punch your circle first, right? So you get a circle, okay? And so we've got 2 circles there. And then what we are going to do, let me move these. Okay, you're going to take a corresponding piece of paper if you want to. You can use any kind of paper that you have. I just had this piece of little black and white that I'm going to use. And you're going to, let's use this. You're just going to cut a strip. I'm not really measuring any of this, okay? You're just going to cut a little strip. You're going to use a corner rounder, and you are going to put it in there and just soften the edges, which is what we're doing. Let's see. There we go. Okay, see how it's nicely rounded now? Do you see that? And then you're going to make it as wide over there as you want. So we'll just trim it about right there, okay? So now you have a circle, and you have like your directional piece. Take your pokey tool, and you are gonna hopefully pick the middle, but doesn't really matter, right? Nobody can really tell. So you're gonna poke a hole in the middle, okay? You're gonna take a brad. Well, let's see, get a brad out, Diane. Put the brad through. So your directional piece is on top of the circle. Go ahead and open it up, and you've got that fun little piece. So let's say I wanted to use it on this, right? I can do it just like that. I don't like that pink one. Let's use the black one. Well, first let's just close this up real quick so I can show you how this would work. Let me go back to this, and we're gonna close that up. So let's close that piece, close that piece. We've got our envelope closed. And then this. So we just made this little thing. All you're gonna do, look how cute this is. You're just gonna glue the circle onto the envelope, right? Put your glue on there. And you're going to put it where, I mean, you could put it right here if you wanted to. That would be just fine. You're just going to put it in a spot. Okay, you're going to glue the circle down. And then look, this just twists. So it twists to the side, see? And then that opens and closes your envelope. So it's just your own little handmade closure, which I thought was fun. And then I wanted to show you this one where I was talking about taking items from those wonderful book pages, as I said. And you can tell this was an 8x8 piece that I used on the envelope board, and I made it. Now, this paper, I thought this was cardstock, and the more I played with it, it started to tear. So I went ahead and did washi tape, okay? So let's go ahead and glue. So what I wanted to show you, though, is I glued the design on, and then I sewed it on my sewing machine before I folded this up to make it as an envelope. working in your junk journal, it's so much easier, and you just keep them in a little container, and as you're, oh, I want to put an envelope in here. You can tuck in Bible verses, you can tuck in little note cards in all of these, but they're already made. And I just used one that I had made probably 6 months ago in my Thanksgiving journal, and I had put on there, praise the Lord, and that was all about praise. So it's kind of fun to put some faith-based words on them, and then they're really ready to go. So that's how you make all of this. And I hope you will jump in and make some for yourself and make some of these little fun enclosures. Please like, please share, please comment any other technique videos that you would like me to make.